Hello and welcome to the first Let's Play of Sonic the Hedgehog, released for the Genesis and the Mega Drive for UK and Japanese. And as your host, DaBlueShadow, I'll give you the guest, as always, TK the Hedgehog. What's up?
How's it going?
So first of all, TK, what is the story for Sonic the Hedgehog?
For Sonic, well, all his little animal friends are kind of disappearing, being turned into robots and becoming mechanized by Dr. Robotnik, aka Dr. Eggman, and his job is to rescue them right now. That's what this game is pretty much about.
Cool. So, I believe that there's two endings to this game. And one of the endings is by collecting all the Chaos Emeralds and getting the good ending, and the other one is not collecting all the Chaos Emeralds and you get the bad ending.
Correct. I didn't even know that. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I did know that, but I really don't remember what the different endings are about. I just remember Dr. Eggman teasing you at the end if you don't get all 6 emeralds.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because that many people consider that as some form of replay value of repeating the game again and completing the game right, getting 100%.
Exactly.
And now we're in a special stage from all that blah blah, and this is one of the special stages for this game, as we've been telling you about, to collect the 6 Chaos Emeralds, and it was pretty easy for me to actually grab it. Was it difficult for you to actually grab any of the Chaos Emeralds in these special stages?
Oh, just rub it in, Blue. Gosh. yeah, it was pretty difficult for me because this wasn't the first. Even though this is the first Sonic game I've played, it's not the first one that I've owned. So when you go from Sonic 2's bonus stages to this, it's like, whoa.
That's really very true, because Sonic 2 special stage, the only difficult factor of that was having Tails played alongside you, because that he would fall into the mines if you don't time your jumps correctly.
Yeah, that darn Tails, he does that. You know, he'll jump into the mines. It's like, dude, I need you to get those rings, and he's like, no. And I'm like, really? And it's a love-hate thing going on with Tails in those bonus stages.
Definitely agreed on that. And with that, like, Sonic 1 is like kind of like a treasure for me of actually repeating these special stages, because in this playthrough, I didn't have much problem, only with the 3rd special stage, I think. But other than that, it was quite okay for me to actually complete all of it. But I did enjoy the other special stages from the other 2 games, vice versa, Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. But anyway, Green Hill Zone, first Sonic stage, pretty much first any stage for the Sonic franchise. What do you think to the Green Hill Zone?
Green Hill Zone, it introduces what Sonic is about. You know, the forest stage, the unique little checker marks on the land. That's something we've never really seen in the game. Even like Mario, you know, really have bricks. You know, this is like this checker texture, and it's like really cool. In my opinion, I can't remember the name of the stage. I think it's Emerald Hill Zone. This the first stage in Sonic 2. It's, to me, that gives a little bit of a better presentation for Sonic, because it's a bit more crisp. It's not as grainy.
Ah, cool. Yeah, a lot of people always would probably reminisce of Emerald Hill rather than Green Hill Zone, because that many people bought Sonic 2 rather than buying the first game.
Exactly.
And I'm guessing that Sonic 2 is pretty much the most memorable game out of the franchise, if not the best game of the franchise at the moment, or Sonic 3 Knuckles.
Yeah, that's true. Sonic 2, Sonic 2 is probably my favorite classic game. I mean, I love Sonic 3 and Knuckles, don't get me wrong. That's probably, honestly, my favorite, but Sonic 2 was the first one that actually drew me into the series. I played Sonic 1, I didn't really like it, honestly, back when I was a kid. Then when I played Sonic 2 and Tails is following you, it's like, whoa, cool. You know, there's a sidekick. Like, awesome.
And that's when you actually grew your kind of love, affection towards Tails.
Exactly. It was just, he became like a little brother. It was awesome.
It's pretty cool. But anyway, on towards Green Hill, like, the scenery, the environment, as you said, the forests and trees. Do you think there could have been any other better stage than this to actually do better, other than Emerald Hill, as you had said?
You mean as far as in this game?
Yes.
One of my favorite stages in this game is Twilight Zone and Marble Garden, Marble Garden, right?
Yeah, Marble Garden. Yeah.
Those are two of my favorite stages in this game, even over Emerald Hill Zone in Sonic 2.
Okay, so we just completed Green Hill Zone, and we're saving the little bunnies and flickies. So was the flickies introduced into this game first, before making their own little spin-off game?
Yes, they were. They made their first appearance here, with the birds, flickies, all the different little animals. And if I remember correctly, I think the manual said that they're Sonic's friends, of course, because they're animals. And Eggman's just disturbing the balance of the forest by kidnapping them and turning them into robots.
So, as you said about saying, like, Dr. Robotnik disturbing the balance, does he always do that? Like, to disturb the balance, always turning animals into robots? Like, does he have any other plans in other games?
Definitely. In this game, we're not sure what his plans are, as far as world domination, but in Sonic 2, we definitely see a huge jump in motivation. He's not just after animals, he's going to try to destroy the world. He's building the Death Egg. In Sonic 3, he launches the Death Egg, and it's just, he gets more and more aggressive each time, all the way up until the Eclipse Cannon, till Dark Gaia, and most recently, the Time Eater. So he's definitely growing, more and more mad over the years, and he's trying to destroy the world instead of just conquer it.
Okay, cool. So we've just got the shield for Sonic. So it's a bit of an invincibility shield for Sonic to actually progress through the stage, so like not to actually lose his rings. So was that a benefit, like to have this shield around him?
If you're trying to go for all the Chaos Emeralds, definitely, because it'll save you from losing rings, and you can make it to the end of the stage with 50. So yeah, it was definitely a benefit.
And about losing rings and whatnot, do you think that this game was harsh on the lives because there was not much rings scattered around the level? You probably get like maximum 80 or 100 at least. Mm-hmm. And do you think that they should have been much more reliant on giving more lives to people?
Yes and no. It definitely adds to the challenge. But at the same time, it would have made it a little bit easier for gamers like me back then, who probably couldn't get past the second stage without going through at least 5 lives. So,
because I remember when you was going through the playthrough of this one, you had a game over at Marble Garden.
You know what? No one asked you to say no. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry. I should have said that.
No, it's true. I was trying to play in multitask, and I got a game over on the second stage. So, yep, that's I guess having some more lives would have helped.
Yeah, like as a tip, I would say that to actually get more lives is definitely through the special stage. The special stage has so many rings, and it's like probably more than 100 rings. I guess, and also it adds up to the original rings you have throughout the stage. So say like you had about 90 rings, and all you just need to do is collect 10 rings in the special stage, and you'll get a life up. And many people doesn't really be aware of this, and actually like collecting more rings in the special stage to actually get lives, and it makes it much more easier to do it in Sonic 1. Mm-hmm. And I think it rolls onto the other special stages from other games like Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, as you can do that as well. But it makes it more easy anyway from the stages from Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, because like there's so many rings around. Like I remember like collecting about 400, 500 rings in just Marble Garden Zone. I think that's called Marble Garden in Sonic 3 as well, because of the actual element of the shield element of the rings just coming towards you. So yeah.
Yeah, that the shields. I think the special shields could have definitely helped out in this game. But I don't know. It's all part of the creative process. We didn't see them until the later game, so maybe they just didn't exist yet.
Yeah, definitely. So, like, with the actual additional elements of shield and more stuff, that was definitely bringing much more variety from Sonic 1 towards Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 then.
Right. Definitely. And, you know, to see those elements, like, you know, you can do the shock move. Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought he was going to go into a long...
No, I was, and then something happened. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be texting while doing a Let's Play.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think this was the special stage that I actually had a bit of a struggle with, because I actually literally got all the gems around it depleted, and all I just needed to do is grab this Chaos Emerald, and I'm just floating around it all the time, and then now I just got it. I had problems with it.
Me personally, the Chaos Emeralds in this stage, I'm not gonna lie, when you get all 6 and you're like, yeah, Super Sonic, because I didn't play this first, I played Sonic 2 first. I'm like, yeah, Super Sonic, it's gonna be awesome, and then it was like alternate ending and no Super Sonic. I was like, what?
Yeah, so, a lot of people were surprised at that if you played Sonic 2 first, because I played this game first, and it was just really like, oh, new special ending, because like that's how it was back in, you know, Mega Drive Genesis games. Like when you play the hardest difficulty in any game, you get a different ending.
Yeah, that's the thing that people don't understand. People complain about cinematic, how cinematic Sonic's become over the years. But the thing is, he's always been that way. It's just that, you know, back in the 90s on older hardware, you know, it wasn't really... Sure, there wasn't captions or cutscenes or voice acting, but there were alternate endings, there were Easter eggs to be unlocked, and let's face it, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is just plain epic, so why shouldn't Sonic games be epic? Yeah.
Definitely agree with that, because that it was lower hardware in the 90s, and they couldn't support sound files or much added on graphics of cinematics and stuff. And yes, cinematics does slow down the actual existence of gameplay, as seen from Sonic 1, like you're going from level to level, but instead it gives much more of additional effect of story, content, replay value and such. And it just depends on the actual developer's choice of actually adding this wisely.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And don't get me wrong, I know that sometimes cutscenes can interrupt the flow of the game. That's why in future games I think that they should make it optional to play through the game without worrying about cutscenes, or, you know, make a switch, make it a choice at the beginning of the game. Do you want to be part of the story, or do you want to just blast through the game? Classic mode, modern mode, you know. But at the same time, like in recent games, the cutscenes weren't really obtrusive. So I personally have no complaints. But
I just kind of like prefer cutscenes if it was direct to the point and straight on, and doesn't really flow with the gameplay as much. Like, I don't know, like something like 20 seconds that just gets onto the point, and it kind of focuses more into the character instead of like the whole story behind it. It's kind of like replaying itself, repeating itself, and that's what I kind of prefer. And I do love cutscenes in games. Like, don't get me wrong, like gameplay is always first, but you always need to have a mix of everything, and technology definitely shows that everything is just improving, like in the modern days, as of today, right now.
Yeah, I like the way that Sega's, you know, to me, and this is where things get a little fuzzy, because I don't want to start a flame war on our YouTube page. You know, that would be very annoying. But the way that Sonic was introduced into the 3D world, it fit. It really did. As far as Sonic 3D Blast, even. It was kind of like an experimental game. I didn't take it seriously. I didn't take it... I do consider it to be a mainstream Sonic game, but even in the book, it's...